Hello and welcome back to our weekly how-to and Q&A sessions here on YouTube Live. My name is Chris and I'll be hosting the session here today. Just as a reminder, we stream live every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we're here to answer your questions. So we'll give some time for anyone who might want to attend and is still getting onto the session to ask their questions via the live chat. If there is anyone watching and you have questions, feel free to type those into the live chat box at this time or whenever you have those questions, and we'll be monitoring that chat throughout the session. Um, so to start, I'll go ahead and just work on showing a quick tip, which is a request that we do get from time to time, and that's the question, how do I add a countdown timer onto my DecoNetwork affiliate store or my DecoNetwork website? At this time, we don't have a specific widget to show that countdown timer on your website, but a while ago we did share that as a code snippet on our community forums, which is another one of the great resources that we have out there. So let me go ahead and jump into our community forums and show you that snippet. So that's shared here on the CSS section. Let me just search for that. So countdown timer. And we'll just walk through how we could add this onto our site. So I'll pull up my DecoNetwork website. I'm here in the admin section, and from there I'll jump into the website section. All right, from here I'll go ahead and manage my store, and I'll click into edit website and jump right into website pages. All right, so this is the page editor. Just this year we introduced DecoNetwork 8, which is a really nice intuitive user interface to make adjustments to your website. It's essentially built on drag and drop. What you see is what you get functionality. So we have a collection of widgets that you can drag into your website and just edit them right as if you were editing your live website. So for today's example, we're going to be using the HTML widget to drop in that countdown timer snippet that we shared earlier. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down to the bottom of my, actually, where do we want to place that? Let's say we want to place that at the top, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'll go into my widget section and I'll drop in a column right at the top there. And into that column, I'll drop in an HTML widget. All right, and from there I can go ahead and paste anything I'd like. So at this time I can go back to that forum post where we have that code snippet shared, and I can just copy that out and paste it right into that HTML widget. So it's currently showing that message there, which is configurable. So there are a few little bits of information that you would want to adjust in that code snippet. For example, the date that you're counting down to. So in this example, it's doing May 28th, which already passed. So it's that's what's showing the message store sales ended. So let's say my site is doing sales for a specific event, which end on July 1st. So I can set that date, July 1st, 12. And once the sale is done, I want to set the message store sales ended till next year. So I can edit that countdown message. And then I can go ahead and edit the colors, like maybe the color of the text. So maybe I want just plain black text. All right, so I can go ahead and I can also edit the border color. So let's set that to black. Okay, all right, and so there we get our countdown timer, which is now counting to July 1st. All right, so that's one example where we have a lot of abilities within this new page editor, not just within the built-in widgets, but you still have access to do even more advanced things through some of these HTML code snippets that you can find out there. All right, so hopefully that's a useful one. Let's see if we have any user questions at this time. Checking in on the chat. All right, no questions at this time, but we've got some other tips that we can jump right into as well. Uh, so we looked at website editing, but let's take a look at products, right? That's another question that we get oftentimes is, you've signed up for DecoNetwork, you want to start creating affiliate stores, and the question is, well, what does it take to create an affiliate store, and what does that really look like? So we can walk through that step and creating a store, which is a really quick process, but then how do I then start adding products onto that newly created store? Right, so to create a new store, you go into the website section of your admin area. From there, on the top right corner, you choose the Add Store option. You'll get prompted to select whether this new store is going to be managed by someone else or whether it's a store that you own. And really what this controls is whether or not the system will run automatic commission payouts for this new store. In this case, this is one that I'm going to operate and belongs to me, so I'll choose that option and I'll hit save. All right, from there I'm prompted to set a username and password authentication set, which will become the store owner account for this new store. All right, so let's name this Football Booster. Go ahead and set my password. All right, and it's already given me my default store URL, which I'm happy with. I'll go ahead and enter my email address. And I'll agree to the terms and conditions. All right, so once I hit save here, it's going to go ahead and create my site, make sure my passwords match. All right, so here's my new store. Now, where do I take it from here? So the first thing you'll want to understand when considering DecoNetwork affiliate stores is the base configuration pulls from your main site's configuration. So inside of your main system, you control which blank products you've added in, which decoration methods you've enabled, your product pricing, your decoration pricing, and so all of that trickles down to your affiliate stores. You do have access to then make adjustments for the affiliate store, but kind of the base level is that same configuration as is configured in your main site. So if we go in and take a look at that new store that we've created, we can see what it looks like now and how we can start bringing in some products onto it. All right, and by default, that's going to be showing the same default website layout that we had with our main site. So I'll pull up the page editor as well so we can maybe clean it up, since this is going to be an affiliate store that's set up for a football booster sale. All right, so here's the default layout that we're seeing right now. Again, this might be more than I really want to display. I'm showing a large banner. I have all of the navigation items like products, designs, create, which shows blank products, designer, which I may or may not want. So this is really more than I may want for an affiliate store. So let's go ahead and clean it up. So for this affiliate store, I'm going to get rid of this blank products widget on the home page. We'll just remove that entire row. We'll also clear out this large banner and this product listing down at the bottom of the page as well as the Instagram. So I'm really just going to leave the home page as kind of a large marketing image that I'll go ahead and change, and a link to my products. All right, so that button I can go ahead and edit it and make sure it's going to where I want it to go. Right now it's going to the create page, which is my page that lists blank products, whereas on this store, I'm going to display decorated products. So I'm actually going to edit that link and change that to go to the products page instead. Hit OK, and we'll save that change. All right, next I'll go into the pages section here on the left-hand side, and I'll start turning some of these pages off. So I'm going to click into the designs page, and under advanced settings, I'll set the page status to off and save that change. And I'm going to repeat that process for some of these other pages. Create page, I don't necessarily want to list blank products on this affiliate site, so I'm going to go into create, advanced settings, and set the page status to off, and go ahead and save that out. All right, I'm going to do the same for the designer. In this use case, I'm going to be selling just predefined items. I'm not going to be giving the end user the ability to do their own creations. Now, you'll see here on one of the examples, I'll do a product that can be personalized. So although you can't pull it up and do the full designer tool, move objects around and add your own artwork, you do still have the ability to give users the option to personalize an item. Maybe edit a line of text that's an applied graphing on that specific product. All right, so the designer page, I'm going to go ahead and disable. Page status off and save that one as well. And I'll disable some of these quote ones as well. This is going to be direct e-commerce. I won't have the option to request a quote on this one. And lastly, I'll do the same for the quick quote as well. All right, so finally I'm going to go ahead and publish my changes here. And once again, we'll just quickly review what that looks like on the live site once that publish is complete. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh my page here. And we'll see all of those changes that I just applied through the editor now showing on the live site. And there we go. So you'll see the home page is much more simplified. We just have that large banner image. As far as the navigation, we have our home page. We have our products page, which we're going to get to in a few seconds here, and we're going to start adding in products. And then we've got our about page and our contact page. All right, so let's do one last change here in the page editor before we jump into the products. Let's just edit the image that we're using here for this backdrop. So if we go into the settings for my row section here, we can jump into background properties. And here we see the image that we're currently applying. We can go ahead and press replace to bring up the select image panel. And there's some images that we provide for you. There's also a selection of stock images that you can pull. So there's some industry images, decoration industry related images. And you also have the ability to search the web. This is going to pull from some royalty-free sources that you can go ahead and use without any copyright. So it's not just doing a Google search here. It's actually searching out images that are free to use. All right, so I might type in here football or maybe grass or something like that. Let's try football and see what comes back. So the two services we're using here are Unsplash and Flickr. All right, so I might use this. This might be kind of a nice backdrop image, just the grass there. So I'll go ahead and select that, hit OK, and hit OK here. So that looks pretty good to me. I'll go ahead and save that change and publish. All right, so that's publishing. In the meantime, on this, I'll open up in a new tab our decorated products section, and we can go ahead and start bringing some of those products in. All right, so what we'll want to do is hit the Create Decorative Products button. First step of creating a decorated product is choosing the blank that you're going to use as your base item. So I'll choose this adult t-shirt. Actually, that one has a pocket. I don't want pocket on this one. Let me do this crewneck sweatshirt, long sleeve. Let me see if I have a t-shirt. Here we go. We'll do this v-neck shirt. All right, so we'll choose that item, hit save and continue. And we can go ahead and do add design. In this case, I'm going to do add printing design. This is going to be a DTG item. And let's see if I can choose an existing graphic I have here on my system. All right, so use this sample graphic here. That's a nice high resolution image. All right, once that finishes processing here, we'll see that applied onto the garment. But first, we'll want to go ahead and accept that disclaimer there. It's fine for our example. And we can set the default color for our shirt here. I think it looks good on that gray shirt. All right, so I'm happy with that. I'll go ahead and hit save and continue. And next I'll name my product. So we'll say NASA football booster. All right, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and set a description for that. I'll leave that blank for now. And it's going to ask me to go ahead and name my category. So I'll say these are going to be the adult products. I'll just say adult. All right, and as far as this option allow users to customize, I'm going to go ahead and set that to don't allow users to customize. And we'll hit save and continue. Okay, on this next step here, the system allows us to bring in additional blank products to apply this same design to. So this is the first item, the same one that we selected on step 1 of this process. I can go ahead and press the select products button on the top right corner to then bring in those additional items. So let's say maybe I also want to apply the same to this lady shirt. Actually, let's do the ladies v-neck since we did the male v-neck. And then maybe I want to do a youth shirt and maybe this toddler shirt, right? So that same graphic will be applied to all 4 of those products. And the additional function that I can do on this page is to set the default color for each of those products. So maybe I'll set a matching color on all those items. I'll do kind of that same gray. All right, and if I wanted to, I could make this product not available on all of the colors that the blank offers. So even though the blank youth shirt offers this many colors, I actually just want it on the one color that I designed it on. So what I can do is uncheck all colors, and then down here at the bottom, click the deselect all link. And so what that'll do is it's going to deselect all colors, keeping active only the default color. All right, so only that gray that we selected. So I'll go ahead and hit save and continue to complete the process here. So my system's now going to go through and create those decorated products. All right, so in a matter of seconds there, it's generated those decorated products, and we can go ahead and take a look at those in the store. So if we jump back to the store, we click into the products page. We should see those listed. And sure enough, there they are. So it's listing each of those products that I created with that same graphic. So that did save me some time and not having to create that product over and over again. I just selected the one and was able to apply it across multiple blanks. All right, so you can do customization of that page as well. We didn't look at that earlier, but if Here in the page editor, we go into the products page. Again, for a simple site like this, we may just want to clean that up. For example, I may not necessarily want to show the color swatch because I only offer products in one color, so that's kind of unnecessary information there. So under product colors, I could say don't show. In this example, I may not want to show, for example, the add to cart button. So I actually want people to click into the product and purchase it from the product page. So I'll disable add to cart, hit OK, and let's save that change. And lastly, we'll go ahead and hit publish. All right, so this is kind of a quick example here on how to create affiliate stores. We created the store, as you saw, that was just really a few seconds to actually create the store. Once we have that store created, it's a matter of customizing the look and feel and adding in your products. The other side, which we can touch on, is kind of the pricing side. And like I mentioned at the top of this topic, the pricing initially is going to come from the pricing that you set at the system level. So we're pulling in the blank product price as you've configured it and the decoration price as you've configured it. Those two combined give us the price of our decorated products. If we jump back into the decorated products page here and we manage one of these decorated products, we'll see you do have the ability to go in and say, don't use that default pricing. I want to set my own retail pricing. So maybe I want to sell this for a flat $15. I can go ahead and do that and hit save. So you can make adjustments to the selling prices of your products, but initially the starting price does come from that system configuration. All right, I'm not seeing any questions here in the chat, so if you guys are watching and have any questions, again, feel free to type those into the chat and we'll go ahead and answer those. I'll give a few seconds here just to make sure maybe someone's wanting to type out a question. We'll give it a few seconds and then we'll jump on to a next topic if we don't have any user questions. All right, I'm not seeing any questions here in the chat, so let's go ahead and jump into a next topic that we can cover, which is one that we get pretty frequently, so it's good to go ahead and cover it. And that's the question, how do I set up my live shipping methods? So in DecoNetwork, one of the great features that we have is the ability to link up with shipping carriers so that they can provide you shipping rate estimates at the time of checkout or at the time that you're creating an order inside of your Business Hub, your order management software. All right, so to navigate to actually get into the setup, inside of your admin section, you'll want to click Settings. From there, you're going to click Shipping, Shipping Methods, and it'll take you to this page here, which is a list of all of your currently added shipping methods. When you first sign up for DecoNetwork, it's going to come with some standard shipping methods, but if you want, you can certainly link up with those shipping carriers. So let's take a look at that option now. We'll click Add Live Shipping Method here on the top right corner of our screen, and that's going to load up the screen where we can enter in our credentials for each of those shipping carriers. Now, we integrate with pretty large list of carriers here. So we've got FedEx, USPS, DHL, UPS, and Stamps.com. And with all of these carriers, we have that ability that I mentioned, which is entering your credentials and enabling certain shipping methods And what that's going to give you access to is shipping rate estimates. Right? So that's available for all of the carriers. Now, with two of these carriers, we actually take that a step further and allow you to purchase the postage from that carrier once you're ready to ship out that order. What that means is you're going to pay for the postage, entering your final package dimensions, and that carrier is then going to send you back the actual shipping label image, which you can print out and affix to that package to ship it out. All right, so that's available with these two carriers, UPS and Stamps.com. All right, so let's run through the setup on one of these carriers. I believe Stamps.com is a paid subscription. I don't have access to that account, but UPS is one that I do have access to, so I can run through that as an example. So what we'll need to do is actually go directly to the UPS website to request the necessary credentials. All right, so I'll head over to ups.com, and it's asking me for my region here. I'll go ahead and select US. Now, I already have an account here, but if you don't, you can simply click the sign up link to create an account with them. So for now, I'll go ahead and log in. Let's see if I actually remember my login here. Let's see, we might actually need to sign up. I don't know if I remember that, so let's do it as a fresh user. We'll hit sign up. All right, so it's gone ahead and logged me in here. So once we're logged in, we'll need to go to the developers section for the UPS website. So let's go into services. Let's explore all services. Okay, we'll click integrating and technology. And what we're looking for is the UPS developer kit. So let's click into that. So here's some information about how to integrate with that. So DecoNetwork has already done the integration. At this point, what we're just looking to do is request the necessary credentials. All right, so here under instructions for developers, there's the option to go to Developer Resource Center. We'll click on that. All right, so we'll click Access the UPS Developer Kit, and this is the page that we're trying to get to here, which is requesting an access key. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and click that link, request an access key. It's going to ask me for my information here. I'll enter that in and hit request access key. Okay, so we'll need to open that UPS account. All right, so for most of you, this really, this step you won't really require. Most of you guys already have an account with the shipping carrier that you use. It's just a matter of getting into that part of the website from the carrier and requesting the necessary credentials. All right, so let's go ahead and hit continue there. Hopefully that will get us to a point where we can request that access key. All right, and sure enough, there it is. So I'll go ahead and copy that. Now that I have that access key, I can switch back to my DecoNetwork screen. I can paste in that access license number. I also have my UPS account number now. And the last thing is to enter in my credentials, which is the ones that I entered when I was signing up for that UPS account. So let's do that example there. All right, go ahead and save that page to apply that change. And that's going to authenticate me to go ahead and start using the UPS carrier for those live shipping rate estimates. And since with UPS we have that second level of integration, once I'm ready to start shipping out my orders, I'll also be able to pay for the postage and download that shipping label image. One last thing which we forgot to do, let me jump back onto that page, is select which methods from that carrier we want to enable. So we've entered in our credentials. Now we need to say from UPS, which services do I want to offer? And that's another important piece, which I do have some feedback for. And there are some cases where our users will want to enable all of these options, which may not necessarily be the best for your end customer, right? The end customer, when they're checking out from a site, they want simplicity and ease of use. And so if you give them too many options, that can actually kind of hinder the process. So what I typically recommend is, have no more than a few shipping options. So in my case, I'll have UPS ground. I'll have a next day error if anyone wants something, really quick. And then I'll have a 3-day select. So I'll have those 3 different options. I'll go ahead and hit save. And I'll see those added onto my list of available shipping methods. All right, once we're back on that list, we see them listed here. UPS ground, next day error, and 3-day select. I can go ahead and sort these in any order I want. Let's say I want the ground to be the default. I can go ahead and move that to the top. So that's the right order that I want. The last thing is to edit each of these methods, set them to active, and configure the maximum delivery period, which may differ by each method. So for ground, I think it's up to 5 days. So we'll go ahead and hit save. I'll do the same for the 3-day. I'll hit active, and we'll say 3 days on that one. And next day, we'll set that to active and 1 day. All right, and that takes care of the live shipping setup. So from there, I'll go ahead and hit delete on these custom methods, which are default. I won't be using those, so I'll just leave the UPS enabled. You can also rename these shipping methods. So, your user may not necessarily need to know that it's UPS ground. You might just call that standard. And the 3-day, we can go ahead and rename that as well. And the UPS next day error, we'll just call that next day. So again, you want to simplify the checkout process for the end user. So eliminating as much of that friction is what your goal should be. All right, so that takes care of live shipping method configuration. Do we have any additional questions from anyone in the chat? Feel free to chime in with those questions and I'll take a look and we'll go ahead and answer those. All right, so let's jump into a next topic here. Another question that we get frequently is, does DecoNetwork support the ability to track inventory? So we do have that option where you can track inventory on your blank products. And let's jump right in and take a look at how that can be set up. So on the left-hand side here of my admin menu, I'll click Products to jump into that section. That's where I'll see a list of all of the blank products that I currently have added onto my site. All right, from there I can click on an individual product, hit the Manage button, and choose Edit Product. Once I'm editing a product on the left-hand side, I can click SKU, GTIN, and Inventory. And on that page, I'll see the option to enable inventory for this product. Once inventory is enabled for a product, you can start marking certain SKUs as being in stock or tracking stock. So let's say on this particular item, I like to keep the black shirts in stock in medium and large, right? Those are frequently ordered, maybe small, medium, and large. And I might do the same for the white as well. So I'll enable small, medium, and large. Once I enable stock for a specific SKU, I can enter in three different values. So I can enter in an inventory on hand, a low stock warning amount, and a reorder to level. So a brief explanation of each of those values. The on-hand one is pretty straightforward, how many I actually have in stock. So I'll say I have 20 of each of those in stock. The warning level is the quantity you want to be notified at once this product reaches that amount. So when this product goes from 20 to 5, I want to receive a notification that this product is in low stock. All right, and then that last value, the reorder to level, if this is set, let's say, for example, 20, when I reach that amount of 5, the system will put a quantity of 15 in your pending purchase order so that you can reorder another 15, and that allows you to always keep that stock level consistently at your desired quantity of 20. All right, so I'll do that for the black and I'll do the same for the white as well. All right, and then inventory option is on a per product level. So, I've set that here for this particular item. If there are any other specific styles or products that I want to track inventory on, I would go in and configure those and do those same steps that I just went through for that one item. There are some additional mentions as far as inventory. You do also have the option to kind of do that in bulk using one of these bulk actions. So if you select let's say all of the items on one page using this checkbox at the top of the list, we give you the option to select all the products in your system. And with all the products selected, you do have the option to select the export inventory levels action. So that's going to give you an Excel spreadsheet with all of your products and those same columns that we looked at, the inventory on hand, the low stock warning level, and the reorder to level. And so you can set those through Excel. Once you've set those in your Excel file, you would come back and say import inventory levels and get those back into your system. So there is a way to do that in bulk if you have several products that you want to input quickly. All right, and the last thing to mention is here in the products menu on the left-hand side, we do have a page for inventory settings, which allows you to configure when a product is out of stock. Do you still want that to be purchased, which would open up a pending purchase order with your supplier, or do you want to prevent that product from being added to the cart? So you do have flexibility on how you want that behavior to work. And then a section down below lists all of the products in your system that are in low stock. All right, so hopefully that helps out with those questions as far as how to enable or does DecoNetwork support inventory tracking. All right, let's see. We're seeing a question here on the chat from one of our clients. Can I create product categories by making product pages that show only certain products? So, they're wanting to show football, basketball, soccer, things like that. So that's definitely possible. We can run through that example. Let me just check what categories I have here. So I've got apparel, t-shirts. So the first thing I guess would be to actually categorize your products here in the blank product section. Right now, my system is using just the default categories that come with DecoNetwork. I do have one here filed under jerseys. I have, for example, polo shirts, headwear. So we'll use these categories as our example. But from your end, once you have created those separate categories like football, basketball, that's where you'll pick up. So let's jump into from our admin menu websites. We'll go ahead and manage. Let's take a look at the main site in this example. So we'll hit manage on my main site. And I'll go into the page editor by clicking edit website pages. All right, so my main site's still using the default layout. I'm going to click into pages. And what I actually want to do is start adding some custom pages. So what I'm going to do is, again, turn off some of these system pages like products. Go ahead and turn that one off. Select it, go into advanced settings, and set the page status to off. And we'll do the same for designs. Now, I mentioned earlier, create is what we call the primary blank product listing page. In this example, since I'm actually going to be listing blank products, I don't want to turn this page off, but I also don't want it to show in my navigation menu. I want my navigation menu to show links only based on categories. So what I can do is click into that page, and down here at the bottom, uncheck the show in menu option. So that's going to allow it to still be enabled, but it's just not going to show in that navigation menu. So I'll save that change. I'm going to do the same for the designer. I want the designer page to be enabled, but I don't want it to show in the menu. So I'll uncheck that box, and I'll hit save to apply that change. All right, and I'm happy on this particular site to show the request pages. So from here on, I can start adding my own custom pages. And I can do that by pressing the Add Page button here at the top of the Pages panel. And I'm going to call this Jerseys. So I've got a Jerseys page. I'm also going to add a page called Polo Shirts. I'll create one called headwear. And lastly here, I'll create one called t-shirts. All right, so now that I have those custom pages created, I can start dropping some product widgets onto them. Right, this page editor is all drag and drop based. So right now I'm on my t-shirts page. What I'd do is I'd click into the widgets panel, and I'll come here into the list section and drop in a blank product listing widget. So I'll drop that right into the page, and it's going to give me some options to configure that widget. So I can set, for example, a panel title. I might call that t-shirts. And I can set how many products I want to display. Let's say I want to show 30 on this page. And the important one is here under category. So here I can set which category of products do I want to pull in from to display. So I said t-shirts. I'm going to go ahead and click my t-shirt/active category. And so it's now filtering to show products, only products that are filed within that specific category that I selected. Okay. You do also have some options to adjust the design of this widget further. For example, the layout. You can do a grid or a collage or a carousel. For my example, I like the grid layout. And I don't necessarily want all those color swatches displaying. I'm fine with the customers seeing that once they actually click into the product page. So I'm going to say, don't show the product colors. I do want the name to show right below the product. So I'll say show below. And I want the brand to display as well. And I'm going to show that on the image itself. Let's see, let's actually not show the brand. Let's show the brand logo on the image. That looks good. All right, again, I don't want to show prices until my customer clicks in to see that product, so I'll leave prices off. And let's go ahead and hit OK. So I'm happy with that layout. I'll go ahead and hit save. And I can repeat that process for those additional pages that I added. So I'll do the same for headwear. I'll go into widgets, drop in a blank product listing, set my panel title to headwear, select my headwear category, and it doesn't look like we have many products there, so I'm fine leaving that to 12. We'll go ahead and hit save. We'll do the polos page. All right, and lastly, I'll do my jerseys page. Now you'll notice I'm not seeing the jerseys page listed here. And that's because I don't actually have any active products in that category. So the system's only going to allow you to pick from categories that have active products in them. If a category is empty, you won't see it displayed here. So let's choose an alternate category. Let's do apparel fleece. So we'll change that to fleece. And we'll show 30 items. Okay, we'll also need to adjust our page name here, fleece. So let's save that change. I'm pretty happy with those changes. The last thing I would want to do is adjust the order of my navigation menus here at the top. So I can do that by going into pages and just dragging those around. So I want the t-shirts to be the first item right after my home page. Then I want the fleece. Then I'll have the polo shirts right after the fleece. And lastly, we'll show the headwear. All right, so just by dropping those, I've resorted that. Let's go ahead and save these final changes and hit publish to apply those to my live site. All right, we can go ahead and click preview to see that live on our page. All right, and we see that navigation menu that I set up. So we've got at the top, t-shirts, fleece, polo shirts. Oops, just wait for that page to refresh. So once again, we removed all of the default pages like products, create, and we replaced those with category-based navigation. So if I want just headwear, I can click into that headwear section and see that category directly. So some users do opt for this type of website setup where they want users to directly click into a category. There are also other ways to do it. For example, if we jump back into the page editor here, another option to do that type of a layout is maybe on your home page, you have options for category links, like the default layout has here. So we have in this case, a blank product category widget, which shows our different categories. And from here, the user can click into one to start, drilling down and seeing the categories that they might want to order from. Right, so there's a lot of flexibility here in the page editor, both with the on-page widgets, the page navigation that you can set up. There's a lot of flexibility as to how you want to set that up for your specific e-commerce model or business model. All right, so I think that's pretty much all we have time for in today's session here. We'll go ahead and call that a session. Just as a reminder, we'll be back next week. It's going to be every Wednesday. We'll be streaming live at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to come with whatever questions you guys want to ask. We're here to answer whatever questions you guys have. If they can be how-to questions as well. Let's say it's something specific that you don't know how to accomplish, and maybe kind of multi-step process. Bring those questions to us, and we'll walk you through that process here on the live session. And I'm sure other DecoNetwork licensees will also benefit from that information as well. All right, so thanks for joining in, guys, and take care.